Walks onto stage. Good whatever, lady and gentlemen. Cyrano de Bergerac is a romantic tragic comedy from 1990. It stars Gérard Depardieu and is spoken in French. Edmond Rostand wrote the play, on which Cyrano de Bergerac is based. It is set in the 1890s, in the region of modern France, that borders Spain near the Pyrenees. An area known as Aquitaine. Edmond Rostand was a neo-romantic. Neo-romantics believe in the freedom of expression of the artist, with the creator being king in their art and obliged to convey spontaneous powerful emotions. Pauses. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Spoilers. Smirks. Cyrano de Bergerac can be summed relatively easily. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying panache. Cyrano, a man well endowed in the nasal region, is a romantic, poetic, and swashbuckling cadet. Cyrano has fallen in love with his beautiful cousin, Roxane. She only sees Cyrano as family, and confides to Cyrano her love for a new recruit to the Gascogne cadets. Christian. Pauses. Christian is everything Cyrano is not: handsome, young, and ignorant to the ways of serenading women. Although Cyrano is well versed, his luck runs out with his looks and brutish ways. And it is revealed upon his death that his love for Roxane made him impotent with other women. Such was his depth of feeling, with his unquenchable thirst for violence, born out of romantic frustration. Pauses. Whilst Cyrano de Bergerac has its romantic comedy, it is comedy with a tragic twist. Had Cyrano expressed his love for Roxane, the quantum state of his emotions would have been fixed. Through his lack of expression, Cyrano placed his love for her in a stasis, the energy from which fueled his poetry and fighting prowess. Bouncing his love off Christian only confused all concerned. Rolls eyes. There are many ways to interpret Cyrano de Bergerac, there are many lessons to be learned, along with the enjoyable romantic tale, comedy and period drama. As an English speaker, reading the dialogue detracts a little from the flow of the story, and the interpretation of 18th century French to modern English lacks nuance. Rolls eyes. When will people understand language is an art? It cannot be simply interpreted, especially when such emotions are being expressed. Looks left. Take A Poem to a Horse by Shakira, for example. Looks right. Be my guest. Smirks. If you look up the meaning of the song, you get some bullshit about a love interest being hooked on dope. This is not what the song is about. Shakira is a native Spanish speaker. You need to imagine the theme of the song as a lump of clay, and Shakira is a potter. No, not a relative of Harry Potter. Although Shakira is somewhat of a wizard. Pauses. Shakira is wearing the wrong prescription glasses, rather than the wrong trousers. Smirks. Poem to a Horse works because it is a shrug of the shoulders to a flawed lover. Poem to a Horse should be entitled Ode to a Horse. Shakira is passive-aggressively paying tribute to a potential lover, whom could not speak or hear the language of love. There endeth the lesson. Smirks. With Cyrano de Bergerac, Cyrano serenades Roxane, only to discover Roxane could have fallen in love with him if he had only had the courage to engage her directly, rather than playing with her emotions, using Christian, creating a sort of romantic hybrid of his emotions and Christian's good looks. As any romantic lover understands, when the lights are off, the loving begins. And any love, in the full glare of the cold light of analysis, will fail. Pauses. For some reason, coupling is a thing beyond analysis. It works, for as long as it does. Rolls eyes. Then does not. Name one love story where two lovers evaluate each other's credentials in meticulous detail, and conclude they are the perfect match. Pauses. Before they couple. Rolls eyes. Onto the tale of the greatest lover that never was. In fact, and fiction. Cyrano de Bergerac mocks his own nose as a means to a fight. Why are you looking at my nose? Does it disgust you? Is it soft and dangling? My nose, sir, is enormous. A nose in such a state, I'd amputate. I'll have an umbrella made to give it some summer shade. It bleeds like the Red Sea. Train it on the cavalry. That is what you could have said, had you an ounce of wit in your head. Cyrano is bored with the ease to which his words and sword falls on target. Cyrano de Bergerac kills on the beat of freestyle poetry. I'll compose a ballade extempore. I'll hit you on the final line. Then proceeds to duel. reciting lines for his poem as he goes. Roxanne, Cyrano's love interest, never displays any great trait other than her ability to respond to Cyrano's serenade with love. An uneven trade, for sure. For Christian, Roxanne comments. Here's a cadet in your company. He seems so intelligent and clever. Hardly a word Smith's display of emotion. It makes you wonder what Cyrano saw in her, other than the display of love. Cyrano de Bergerac takes on Roxanne in the dark. Love grows, rocked in my soul as I fret. And that cruel child took it for a bassinet. The newborn babe, a little Hercules. His first act was to hound out 2 snakes. Pride and doubt. Pauses. Everything tonight is so wonderful, so sweet. I speak, you listen. Me, at your feet. Even in my sweetest dreams. I never planned on this. Now I can die. It is at this moment Cyrano understands he could have a life with Roxanne. Though, a series of happenings, and his own cowardice in the face of love, prevents him declaring his love to Roxanne, face to face. After Christian's death. So the 2 lovers mourn for each other, in their own way. Cyrano de Bergerac mocks his own life, as he dies. That moment sums up my life. While I was below in the dark shadows, others climbed up to kiss the sweet rose. It's only fair. The end of Cyrano de Bergerac is most neo-romantic. An ode to poets. It's useless. I know. A man doesn't fight to win. It's better when the fight is in vain. Who are they all? There's a horde of them. Ah, I know you. All my old enemies. Falsehood. Cowardice. Compromise. I know you'll get the upper hand. Never mind. I'll fight on, and on, and on. A few years before Cyrano de Bergerac, the film Roxanne was released. It was a romantic comedy based around the tale of Cyrano de Bergerac. Roxanne starred Steve Martin as Cyrano, and Daryl Hannah as Roxanne. Heavily updated for a Hollywood audience, the film has its moments. Roxanne comments on Charlie, when he is discovered. Steve made me feel romantic, intelligent, feminine. But it wasn't him doing that, was it? It was you. You and your nose, Charlie. You have a big nose. You have a beautiful, great big, flesh and bone nose. I love your nose. I love your nose, Charlie. I love you, Charlie. Rolls eyes. Hardly Shakespeare. George Clinton used a character called Sir Nose, devoid of funk, as part of his musical storytelling. His character is of a villain who refuses to dance. Perhaps the reason for this is a cultural misunderstanding, since Sir Nose, devoid of funk, is reportedly based on Cyrano de Bergerac. Yet, Cyrano would most certainly dance. And can you think of a character more gangster? A neo-gangster lover, anyways. Smirks. For Cyrano's last words. I think they are best reinterpreted. Pauses. There is something that is mine, and is mine alone. And when I stand before God, I will doff my hat, and sweep the heavens, with a single gesture, revealing to all, my unstained panache. Smirks. Peace, I am out of here, word up. Exits stage left.